how to avoid being manipulated, and how to deal with manipulation. If you've ever been the victim of manipulation, you understand how painful it is to be in that situation. In fact, emotional abuse is thought to include emotional manipulation. And like any other form of abuse, it can have a significant impact on your physical and occasionally mental health. You can begin to doubt yourself, stop having faith in other people, or experience severe anxiety and sadness. How can you recognize when you're being misled? How can you defend yourself from these individuals? And what should you do if you discover a loved one is a master manipulator? Manipulators have a wide variety of techniques at their disposal to get you to do what they want. When used properly, those approaches can sometimes pass for everyday discourse. It's critical to understand what manipulation looks like and how to spot a master manipulator if you want to free yourself from their control. The use of gaslighting is one kind of manipulation. Gaslighting is the practice of leading someone to doubt their own abilities or question their sanity. Gaslighters frequently employ extremely particular manipulative expressions, which might make it simple for you to recognize them. Passive aggression is another tactic a manipulative person may employ against you. They are definitely angry at that point, but they keep their anger to themselves. They may use phrases like, "Well, I assume you don't really care that much," merely to appear helpless. Other deceptive mind tricks include the silent treatment, lying and denial of truth, or playing on your vulnerabilities. Please feel free to see any of our earlier videos on manipulation if you'd want to learn more about identifying a manipulator. Finding a manipulator is simply the beginning of self-defense. You ought to be able to respond instantly when you hear the sentences that are meant to make you feel crazy or guilty. Here are some effective psychological strategies you might pick up to fend off manipulators. 1. What are your boundaries? A great method to regain your power is to let people know that some things are simply not working for you. Boundaries make you feel safe and comfortable in your relationships with others by addressing your needs and expectations. Setting boundaries enables you to communicate clearly. "This is not acceptable to me." Consider your boundaries and the kind of behavior that irritate you. How do you want to be handled? 2. No, no and no. Once you've determined your boundaries, you should be able to prevent the manipulator from crossing them. An essential component of that is learning how to say no. You may struggle with people-pleasing conduct if you have problems establishing your ground and saying no. People-pleasing is frequently a reaction to trauma. According to a study that was published in the journal Violence and Victims, it can be a result of growing up in a home where your emotions were disregarded and uncared for. You might now be overly fearful of other people's reactions as a result. You don't want to feel guilty for declining an offer. You might be able to comprehend and reveal your trauma through therapy, develop confidence, and drive the manipulator far from you. 3. Me, myself and I. You could turn the tables and make it all about yourself because manipulators love to make it all about themselves. Continue to remind them that you have feelings and won't allow them to ignore that fact. I statements are a superb communication technique. These are assertions that center on your feelings, ideas, and beliefs. It's not a big thing, for instance, so you respond by stating, "I understand that you might not view it as a big deal, but I feel horrible about this scenario and I think it's unfair." A 2018 research report demonstrated that this style of communication is frequently employed in relationship or family therapy and can be a useful means of lowering anger and conflict. 4. A trusted insight. Last but not least, always strive to keep in mind that nobody in your life represents everyone else. Exists a person you can rely on, a close friend, a member of the family, a therapist, or perhaps even someone you met online. Try seeking assistance if you spot any warning signs and believe you're dealing with a manipulator. Describe your circumstance and seek advice from a reliable source. They might be able to investigate your situation objectively, and you can count on them to stand with you if you both think someone is trying to influence you. We sincerely hope that you won't experience it alone. These techniques might aid you in avoiding manipulation. But what if a manipulator already exists in your life? How do you deal with someone not treating you with respect and honesty? First of all, you need to understand that if a manipulator targets you, it's not your fault. According to research, manipulators frequently originate from unhappy homes or have personality issues. That doesn't make their actions acceptable. but it does demonstrate that you are not the cause of their actions. Additionally, sometimes the best course of action is to take those people out of your life. Going no contact may be an effective tactic if the other person consistently violates your boundaries. Making the best choice for you may be aided by working with a therapist who has received trauma-informed training. Getting your life back is possible, despite how difficult it may appear and how deceived you may feel. Once you learn to spot a con artist right away, they will never be able to harm you again. If you enjoyed this video, kindly like, share and share your view with us on the comment section.